If the cloud is massive digital city, how do you actually build the buildings? You don't just yell at a server and hope database appears. You need tools. If you are a beginner, you might start with a hammer and nails. But if you are deploying 1,000 servers across the globe, you need automated assembly lane and blueprints. Welcome to chapter 13. This is the Planetech and I am Minhaj, your guide to success, and today we are opening the Architect's Toolbox. We are going to look at the different ways you can interact with Microsoft Azure. From the visual website everyone knows to the command line tools the pros use to automate their entire day. Let's get to work. Let's start with the most common tool in the box, the Azure Portal. If you have ever logged into a website to check your bank account, you know how to use a portal. The Azure Portal is a web-based graphical user interface. You click buttons, fill out the text boxes, and visually see your server and networks. The exam inside. The portal is the perfect for beginner for doing something just one time. But if you have to build 50 servers every single day, clicking through the portal will take you hours. It is not designed for mass automation. For the cloud architects on the go, there is also the Azure Mobile App. Imagine you are at a coffee shop and you get an alert that your server is failing. You can open the app on your phone, diagnose the issue, and even restart the virtual machine right from your screen. When you get tired of clicking buttons, you move to command lines. This is where you type text commands to make the things happen instantly. Azure gives you two main languages to do this. One Azure PowerShell and another is Azure CLI, that's command line interface. If you have a background in Windows ID, you already know the PowerShell. It uses a verb-noun structure, so if you want a new server, you type something like new-azvm. It's powerful, it's scriptable, and it is a bread and butter for traditional Windows admin. And if you come from Linux or a developer background, you will probably prefer the Azure CLI. It uses similar bash style commands like AZ space VM space create. The exam inside. The exam would ask you to write codes, but you must know the difference. Both PowerShell and CLI can do the exact same job. They are just two different dialects. You choose the one your team is most comfortable with. Now, here's a real world problem. You are at friend's house using their laptop. You need to run an urgent PowerShell script to fix an Azure server. But your friend doesn't have PowerShell installed. What do? You use Azure Cloud Shell. Cloud Shell is a terminal that runs directly inside your web browser. You log into Azure Portal, click the little terminal icon all at the top, and boom! You have instant access to both the PowerShell and the Azure CLI. You don't need to install anything. Exam alert. Cloud Shell requires a storage account to run. Why? Because when you type commands, Azure needs a temporary place to store the files and text you generate. Remember that connection. Finally, we arrive at the tool that elite cloud architects use, infrastructure as code. Imagine you are a city planner, you need to build exact same skyscraper in Tokyo, London, and New York. You wouldn't draw it from scratch every time you would use a blueprint. In Azure, these blueprints are called ARM templates, Azure Resource Manager template. Instead of clicking buttons in Portal, you write a text file that says, I want one virtual machine, two database, and a virtual network. You hand the text file to Azure and Azure builds it all perfectly in minutes. The examine side. ARM templates use a language called JSON. Microsoft also has newer, simpler language for this called Bicep. If the exam asks how to deploy identical environment repeatedly and reliably, the answer is ARM templates. You now have complete Toolbox. When you start out, you will spend 100% of your time in the Azure portal, clicking around to see how things work. But as you grow, you will start writing scripts in PowerShell, and eventually you will be deploying entire companies using ARM templates. That is the path of a true cloud architect. You stop doing things manually and you start automating the world. In chapter 14, we are talking about Azure AI, machine learning, and the Internet of the Things. I'm Viraj and this is the Planet Tech, and you are listening to Audiobook chapter 14 of AZ-900 Fundamentals. Keep building and I'll see you in the next chapter.